Hi everyone, Leo here, and with this video I would like to share with you a deep dive real Marshall JCM 800 versus Fender Tone Master Pro. Just focusing on tone. I would like to try to get as much close as possible with the Tone Master Pro to the tone of my real JCM 800. This is the second episode of the series Real Marshall versus modelers and plugins that started with the comparison against the NUX MG50, where, as you remember, the tweak distance to beat was set at just two knobs, gain and bass. If you missed that video, you can find it in the description below, together with all the videos where I compare modelers versus the Soldano SLO 100 series. Some considerations before starting. First, in the comments of the MG50 video, some of you asked to include the Valeton and the Ampero 2 also in this series. As I told you in the first video, the list of the series is not closed, so thank you for your suggestions and I will take them into consideration. But keep in mind that the algorithms are practically the same between Valeton and Ampero, so comparing both units would probably tell us more or less the same story. Second, always in the comments, some of you asked to include also profilers, like NAM. I had thought about it, but for me it is not fair to include profiles, and let me explain why. A profiler does not model the circuit of the amp, it takes an image, a snapshot, of one specific sound. This means that, to be comparable, I should create the profile with the exact same settings of my real amp that I want to emulate with the modelers. At that point, that profile would compete against my tweaking of the modelers, which is done by ear, and therefore the comparison would not be fair. Modeler versus modelers is one game, profilers is another game, in my opinion. Third, the amp version. The Tone Master Pro models the 50-watt version of the JCM 800, so the 2204, where my real amp is the 100-watt version, the 2203. These are two different amps. The preamp is basically the same, but the power section is different, and this could change the headroom, the low end and the feel, so keep it in mind during the wall comparison. More on that in my final 2 cents section of this video. Fourth, the methodology. Quickly, as it is exactly the same of the whole series, and I explain it in details in the first video, JCM versus MG50. The real JCM 800 goes into my third reactive load and from there straight into my audio interface. The Tone Master Pro goes from its analog out straight into the same audio interface. For both, I loaded the exact same IR of a greenback speaker in my DAW. No cabinet, no microphones, no room. The input volume on the Tone Master Pro stays as the default settings, and I start by setting the knobs of the simulation exactly like the knobs of my real JCM 800, tweaking from there only the amp knobs of the simulation. And the tweak distance will tell us how accurate the simulation is. Please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, as it would really help me to create more videos like this. Let's start with a comparison. So here we are. First of all, the signal chain. I have my third guitar that goes in the Lele P-split, where the first channel, the green one, goes into the real JCM, that then goes into the third reactive load, as I said previously, that then goes straight into my audio interface. The second channel, the green one, goes into the Fender Tone Master Pro, that then goes into my audio interface through the Tone Master Pro analog out. The starting tone is a crunch tone that cleans up very nicely. So as I said, it cleans up and breaks up very nicely. Let's start with the initial riff. Tone Master Pro. Well, in my opinion, the gain level is, I think, pretty correct. We have the Tone Master Pro that is darker, for sure and less snappier compared to the real amp. Let's also hear a little solo tone. Yes, darker. So let's start enhancing the treble. I think we are not there. Even the volume seems a bit higher in the real amp. Still darker. Let's try to raise the presence. Okay, we are not there yet. Let me try to enhance a bit the gain and reduce a bit the middle. Some more presence. Okay, now I think I'm pretty close. Yes, I think we are almost there. Let's check out the bass frequencies. Yes, maybe a tiny bit or more bass in the Tone Master. A bit more gain here. Okay, I think we are very close. Still the real amp is a bit snappier, I would say, and I can hear a bit of more frequencies, both in the highs and in the lows. It sounds just like a bit more complete, I would say. Let's jump to our conclusions. Final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions for my specific use case, and you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Furthermore, this video is not paid nor sponsored, and as usually, I'm free to tell you my honest opinion. And please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to help me to create more content like this. So, finally, I had to tweak 5 parameters. I would say 4, as I increased the gain really just by a small margin. Initially, the Tone Master Pro was darker compared to the real amp, and I had to enhance the treble, the presence, and to reduce a bit the middle. So I think a pretty good performance overall, even if I had to do just a few tweaks more compared to the New X MG50, which is much cheaper. I'm pretty happy with the final result, even if I kind of still feel a bit of more, how to say, snappiness in the original amp, that I was not able to match 100% with the Tone Master Pro. This could derive from the fact that the Tone Master Pro is the 50-watt version, where my real amp is the 100-watt version. And in fact, there is one thing that I really want to highlight, because it is a typical issue of the Tone Master Pro, in my opinion: the amount of available amp. And in my case, we are already at 2 missing amps compared to what I like. First, the Soldano SL100. As I already mentioned in the first video of the series, the Tone Master Pro includes only the lead channel, which sounds great, but there is not the clean channel and the crunch one. And you know, that crunch sound in the Slow 100 is exactly the sound I use in all my SL100 comparison, as I think is the most dynamic one and enjoyable one. This is also the reason why I could not include the Tone Master Pro in the SL100 series. Second, the JCM 800. Only the 50 version is included here and not mine. So if you are considering the Tone Master Pro, my suggestion is to check carefully the amp list, and not only if your favorite amps are there, but also which specific version and which channels are modeled. Now, for the next video of this series, I would say the Line 6 Helix Stadium, because I'm really curious to check out if the model of the JCM 800 performed better compared to the SLO 100, which was sounding not so great. Please let me know your opinions about the NAMM topic and the Valeton topic I mentioned previously. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to help me to create more content like this. See you in the next video. Bye bye.